Hey, this is Wayne again. I'm going to try to give a couple loadouts and breakdowns of electric DPS, the Electric AM, and gonna even throw in a little PvP today. I'm trying to keep it short because I have 25 minutes until test server shuts down and I lose access to a nice boosted electric team basically. Okay, so this loadout I have right now is basically what I think would probably work the best for the advanced mechanic in in-game raids when you can't melee, or basically when you can't use Electroburst. I'm going to show it, going to go over the powers I picked, why I picked them, and variations, and then I'm going to explain how exactly the AM works and what you get for it. So voltage, you get Electrogen, Arc Lightning, Voltaic Bolt. Every AM mechanic will probably have, every AM mechanic will have Voltaic Bolt, then either Electrogen or Electroburst or both. Your AM powers that give power back are Voltaic Bolt, Electrogen, Electroburst, Arc Lightning, and Electrocute, which I pick up on Amperage. I also get Circuit Breaker. I have a point left over when I pick up the DPS passives. I think it's kind of stupid to DPS without the DPS passives. So I pick up Circuit Breaker as a boost and DPS boost and just to get to Electrocute. If you run low man content, you might want to pick up Invigorate for power back. Not that great though. Let me see. So we go to loadouts. This is basically the loadout I would use for the advanced mechanic at range. Most boss fights. Trash you can substitute in Electroburst for Circuit Breaker and will give you higher damage. I'm just going to leave Electroburst in there to show you how the advanced mechanic works. So the way the advanced mechanic works is 3 powers and an Electrocute put on Electrocharge, which is kind of a new PI. It's a super dot, I guess. Electrogen and Electroburst both apply an Electrocharge. The Electrocharge basically is a dot that goes from 500 to about 1,000 to 1,500 on these dummies. Relative numbers, probably not that, it might not be that much of an increase, but it's pretty substantial. To get the Electro charge on Voltaic Bolt, the targets have to be electrified. Idealized power back mechanic is Electroburst, Arc Lightning, Electrogen, Voltaic Bolt, Electrocute, I think. Let me check that quick though, because I'm not sure. So you start with Electroburst, go to Electrogen, or Electroburst, Electrocute, I think. Okay, yeah, I got it backwards, or wrong. Electroburst, Electrogen, Arc Lightning, which you see, and then Electrocute. This power back mechanic, probably not that needed in raids, even 4-man content, so if I was going to idealize my loadout, I'd probably have it be Electroburst, Wired, Electrogen, Arc Lightning, Voltaic Bolt, Electrocute, something like that. It'd be in order basically so I could hit them 1, 2, 3 to get the power back mechanic. The power back mechanic's more important for duos and solos. It can be important in raids if there's low power situation, one troll, whatever. My loadout for the advanced mechanic is Electrogen, as you can see, Wired, Electroburst, Arc Lightning, Voltaic Bolt, Electrocute. The Electrocharge, you have to have individual electrocharges, and then you can add to them. The way the advanced mechanic is written in the power descriptions, it makes it sound like you can basically start with either one electrocharge or just an electrified and then hit Voltaic Bolt over and over, and Voltaic Bolt will stack them. But it doesn't seem to work that way. It seems to work with Electrogen gives one electrocharge dot that shows up as Electrogen in the combat log. If you use Voltaic Bolt will hit harder, will have a stronger dot than if you just have electrified in Voltaic Bolt. So if you see this, I'm gonna hit electrify, Voltaic Bolt, and you notice that the electrocharge has that really big bright lightning to it and kind of a more intensified electrified, and that the dot is a base of about 500 or so. If we go back, apply Electrogen, Arc Lightning to Electrify and Voltaic Bolt, we get a higher dot of about 1,000. That's the amped up electrocharge dot. That's 2 electrocharges because you've got electrocharge from Genesis and electrocharge from Voltaic Bolt. If I then go melee and I go Electrogen, Burst, Arc Lightning, Voltaic Bolt, you'll see that that dot is then approximately 1,800, 2,000. Basically, it's bigger than, it's 3 electrocharges, it's bigger than 2 electrocharges. The problem is with Electroburst, you can only put it on if you can get melee on something, so it can be risky to apply it to a lot of bosses, even some ads and some top tier content. Alerts, it's not a big deal, but alerts, probably most of the stuff will die before you stack 3 anyway. So, like I said, for in-game raids, I'd use this loadout with Circuit Breaker. I'd pop it as a boost. Gives you about 5 seconds of, I believe, 25 crit chance, 25 or 20% crit chance, 25% crit damage. Use it before a Voltaic Bolt so that that's electrocharged up so that you get the most bang for your buck. Rotation I'd use is basically Electrogen, Wired, Electrocute, Voltaic Bolt, Electrocute. Put in Weapon Mastery in between. I'm using dual wield, not a big deal what you use. It might be beneficial to use Solar Flare, but dual wield to explosive shots quick enough that you can get the full Weapon Master combo, and you won't get the Weapon Master crit boost, but you will get the damage from the Weapon Master combo itself. So I'll show you kind of the loadout I was thinking of using for this, mess around with it. I haven't really optimized it, I'm just kind of having more fun with this one than really min-maxing it. Let me reset that because that was very ugly. I kept hitting the circuit breaker, unfortunately. Let me try to do this quick again. Okay, as you can see, that rough rotation is Weapon Mastery, Electrogen, Wired, Weapon Mastery, Arc Lightning. I would basically, going at that and just the feel of it, I would go immediately after Arc Lightning, do Voltaic Bolt, and then Electrocute, then Weapon Mastery, Voltaic Bolt, until Electrogen is up to be reapplied. I would just keep Electrogen going because it'll reapply the charge in the AM to other targets and keep it up. Anytime you get more targets up, just make sure that they're electrified by Arc Lightning. Your biggest hit is spamming Voltaic Bolt. Um, Came up with a couple loadouts that could be an alternative to pure AM. Let me kill these dummies so I get out of combat and I can show them to you quick. This is more of a hybrid build that has weapon mastery available to it as well as the AM. As you can see, I pick up Electrogen and Voltaic Bolt. Those are my two Electrocharge, I guess PIs, applicators, or whatever if you want to call them. Go down to static push, get Electrocute for an extra dot, and then the DPS passives. So the loadout for this is, if you want to go to AM, it would be Electrogen wired again. Make sure you hit your target with wired so that it applies the electrified PI. Then use Voltaic Bolt, you get a double electrocharge, and then you can throw down Electrocute. If you can't set up the AM, or you don't want to, or things are going to die fast, it's weapon mastery, static push. Spark Barrage is just kind of there because it works off the PI it's available. I haven't even really looked to see how great it is, or, well, not how great it is, I should say, but whether the weapon mastery crit applies to every hit that it does. But I'll find that out now. Like I said, I'm pushed for time before the world goes down. Okay, so I don't know if you could see it. I don't have crit bubbles on because I was doing testing to give to devs earlier for balance passes. But everything on Spark Barrage crits, it's about a 1.5 crit, 3 ticks. Static push probably better, but if you're like me, you don't really enjoy hitting only one power. So I would say alternate between static push and Spark Barrage for a more enjoyable weapon master combo. If you need to, you can always apply the AM. With the AM, you can just throw in static push into basically where you would put arc lightning. Static push will ensure that Electrocute is always proccing because Electrocute works off electrified or polarized. I guess I'll throw quick, what I might use on the fly here with this loadout for rotation. Okay, so that's the ugly rotation that I would use for hybrid weapon mastery AM loadout here. Let me get out of combat. I'll show you probably what I would just use pure weapon mastery. I know most of the people in my league didn't really, only probably wanted the AM, but I'll go through the weapon mastery quick anyway. Pick up wired, pick up Tesla ball. I pick up Megavolt just to have it. It's kind of, I like it. I don't know if it's better than Circuit Breaker, but I like the option of a supercharge, and Megavolt is pretty fun to use. So I use it for that. I get overcharge, static push, and attract I didn't have to pick up, but it's just there. I could have picked up Circuit Breaker, had the option of Megavolt or Circuit Breaker. Robot Sidekick, just because with Weapon Mastery you kind of need Robot Sidekick because you usually only have about 3 powers that you use most of the time. DPS passives again. So the loadout I've got is Arc Lightning, Wired, Tesla Ball, Static Push, Overcharge, and Robot Sidekick. Basically, I'd be using Arc Lightning to set up Tesla Ball. Static Push sets itself up. Overcharged is just kind of there as gravy. So simple rotation, Arc Lightning, Wired, Weapon Mastery, Tesla Ball, Weapon Mastery, Static Push, Weapon Mastery, Overcharge. Just see how that goes. Might not be ideal, but it lets you use everything on your bar. Probably be pretty fun to use. Alright, so yeah, that's basically probably what I would use for Weapon Mastery if I used Electric. Like I said, I kind of like it just because it uses everything on your bar pretty regularly. It's pretty fun. You get a lot of mouse, keyboard, or power weapon combo interactions. If anything, I would take out Overcharged and put either Mega Volt or Circuit Breaker in there for added burst DPS from a supercharge, basically. Last loadout I'm showing is more PvP, and this is just in case, basically, if Coolio or Hawk want to PvP a little bit for feats, fun, whatever, or so Hawk understands loadouts I give him to use in PvP. One thing I want to go over quick. Every movement power now has a supercharge that gives power back, backflip attack, speed drain, and flight. I'm not sure which it is. I think flight is like air burst, maybe, that gives power back. I'm not sure. I have to look at flight. But there is a supercharge that gives power back 50%. You can also use Wisdom of Solomon. Power is a big deal in PvP. Power back. Using a power back supercharge in certain situations is pretty useful. This power back, because of it, and because I like to use it sometimes in PvP, I'll get first tier power crit chance innates when I'm working towards a third tier. As you can see here, I actually have got on dual wield, which is again the weapon I'm using for PvP. I've got crit passives, first tier crit chance, and then I dump the rest into power. It's kind of personal preference. Because I will sometimes use speed drain or Wisdom of Solomon or whatever for PvP as an extra power burst to be able to burn or give my team an extra power boost. I like to have the crit chance because it's a cheap pickup because I have to spend passives in something, and I look at it as if I ever spec, it keeps me from having to respec if I eventually, if you go, it keeps you having to respec if you, whether or not you have your power supercharge or not. The powers I pick up for this PvP spec: Electrogen, Voltaic Bolt, Tesla Ball, Electrocute. Actually get Invigorate mainly for the power back, just because when I spec skill points I didn't get backflip with this, well, the aggro. Iconics, I only pick up the crit chance. Your crit chance is honestly not capped in PvP as a DPS. Your crit magnitude is. Your crit magnitude is capped at about 75. You want a combination of approximately 50% crit magnitude from skill points or iconics. So every time I PvP, I just pick up all the magnitude because I'm not that into min-maxing my skill point loadout. And then I just don't get 10% magnitude in the iconic DPS, and it lets me pick up one other power. So the loadout for this that I gave for PvP is basically high pressure AoE DoT using the advanced mechanic. Electrogen, wired, arc lightning, Electroburst, Voltaic Bolt, Tesla ball. Let me rearrange this quick. So the reason I rearrange this is in PvP it's better to use the power back mechanic. The power back mechanic for electric, I think you're only vulnerable to interrupt when you use Voltaic Bolt and not when you use the others. I'm not entirely sure, I haven't PvP'd with electric much, but generally this loadout, I would say you're going to apply Electroburst, wired, Electrogen, and then arc lightning, Voltaic Bolt, and you'll put a heavy DoT on someone. Tesla ball is basically another DoT. If you wanted to, you could switch out Tesla ball for Tesla blast, or, well, pretty much just Tesla blast or repulse. You're basically would be looking at getting a single target burst, or you could put invigorate like I gave with the option. We'll go through the rotation quick just so you see about what the DoT you would get from doing this quick. So you get pretty heavy dots. Tesla ball gives a DoT. You can see Tesla ball has a huge range on it. But yeah, that's basically PvP. I'd be looking at getting a counter and then applying as many of the electric charges in the window as you could. So basically, if I block break, if I block punish, if I block someone or whatever, anything that gives me a counter, I would basically go Electroburst, Electrogen, arc lightning, and then they'd be about up if they don't have a breakout trinket, and then I'd be looking to hit them with Voltaic Bolt sometime in the quick future or whatever. But you can put 2 electrocharges on them very quickly in a counter window. And yeah, that's basically about it for this quick electric video. And I have 2 minutes before the world shuts down. I might come back and refine this to give times DPS numbers for the different loadouts, compare the Weapon Master to the AM. To me, it's really which one you want to use is more which one you have the most fun with. If you can get all 3 of the Electroburst DoT of the electro charges on stuff, electric might be the best, but or AM may be better than Weapon Mastery, but it kind of just depends. Like you'll be able to do damage either way. Just pick what you have the most fun with, and that's it for this video, I guess. Hopefully Coolio and Hawk find it useful.